Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The A's lost their third straight last night, 9-7 to the Angels. Meanwhile, the Rays won their fourth in a row, and now they trail the A's by only 5.5 games for the second wild card spot. Oakland looks to get back in the win column tonight against the Angels, and you can hear that right here on Sports 1140. Pregame is set for 6:45. First pitch is at 7:05. Wide receiver Jordan Matthews is back with the Eagles after the team traded him to the Bills last season. He was released by the Patriots this preseason. Philly placed wide receiver Mike Wallace on an injured reserve with a broken leg. And speaking of Philadelphia, the 76ers have elevated VP of basketball operations Elton Brand to general manager. Brand played 17 seasons in the NBA, including 5 seasons for the Sixers. He retired in 2016 before flying up the ranks in the Philadelphia front office. It's 8:02. Tickets are going quickly for Folsom Live, the street party in historic Folsom. Live music and dancing in the streets. Details at folsomlive.com.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning, morning, morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Scott Bair from NBC Sports California is going to join us here in just minutes, talk Raiders as he does every Wednesday. Scott Bair coming to us via the Fire Wings Hotline, 21 different flavors to choose from, firewings.com. Just wing it. Kyle, I have a trivia question for you. I always like asking you trivia. Well, speaking of Scott Bair.
And running with the football is a Bear.
That's him, Scott Bair, everybody. Kyle, if you get this, it means only one thing. It must mean only one thing, and that is that you have already seen this tweeted out. There are 3 quarterbacks
I've not seen this.
in NFL history that have thrown for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in consecutive games. 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in consecutive games. Can you
Dig it.
name any of them?
Peyton Manning.
No.
Okay,
all right.
that's fine. No, hang on. No, let me do this. Is there anybody I've heard of?
You have heard for sure of 2 of them, and one of them has Sacramento ties, and no, it's not Ken O'Brien.
Ooh. Okay.
2 of them you have certainly heard of. Very much heard of. One of
Brett
them.
Favre.
No. Great guess. Both your guesses are phenomenal.
Tom Brady.
Nope.
Vinny Testaverde.
Nope. Let me give you different think music here. Maybe that'll help. 4 touchdowns and 400 yards in consecutive games has only been done 3 times in NFL history.
Geez Louise, man. This
No,
is
geez
tough.
Louise, wrong.
Bummer. That's a bad guess by me. Steve Young.
No. One is in the Hall of Fame.
One is not in the Hall of Fame because they're active.
One is in the Hall of Fame. One is not in the Hall of Fame because they're active. And dare I say, will probably almost assuredly not be in the Hall of Fame.
Eli Manning?
No. No, Eli Manning will get in the Hall of Fame.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That is correct.
Okay.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is one of 3 quarterbacks to throw for 4
I don't know
touchdowns
why that wasn't my first guess.
and
'cause I
400 yards. That's why it's on the tip of the tongue.
Right. Okay, so Ryan Fitzpatrick. The other one is in the Hall of Fame currently.
In the Hall of Fame currently, also noted for his acting and comedic skills, was kidnapped once actually during the Super Bowl. Along
Why
with
is
the
this-
team's mascot.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Was kidnapped by somebody who turned out to be posing as a police captain.
Interesting.
Used to be a teammate of this Hall of Famer. A kicker.
Wait, whoa, dude, you just really threw me off.
I'm telling you, it all makes sense when I tell you. He's in the Hall of Fame. He was kidnapped during the Super Bowl.
By the kicker.
By the kicker, but at the time, the kicker had actually become a police captain.
Got it.
Or sergeant. I think captain.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird. Terry Bradshaw. I don't know that story, so I have no idea.
By the way, the kicker used to be, it gets crazier, the kicker used to be a teammate of this guy. Actually.
I don't know this. I'm not going to get this.
You will. Changed genders after his career and posed for years as a female police captain. Kidnapped this quarterback.
I've got nothing for you, dude.
And was saved by a pet detective.
Oh, Dan Marino. Got it. Okay. Dude, that
was dirty, but I was just, because it occurred to me towards the end that you maybe hadn't seen the movie and really didn't know that.
I've seen Ace Ventura a bunch of times.
Okay.
That was just
The third name you will never get, and we could do this all day, and we have to get Scott Bair on the phone.
Daryl LaMonica.
The third quarterback to throw for 4 touchdowns and 400 yards in consecutive games is son of former Sac State head coach and I believe athletic director John Volek. His son, Billy Volek.
Holy crap.
4 touchdowns, 400 yards. Hey, impress your friends with that trivia today, everybody. The text line is losing it. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Soccer style kicker.
It really did occur to me as I was really committing to that bit that maybe you hadn't seen Ace Ventura. And the best part was, and Kyle's getting Scott Bair on right now. The best part is Kyle was dead on it, like super serious. Like, wait a minute, dude. Some Hall of Fame quarterback was kidnapped during the Super Bowl, joined by the kidnapped team's mascot, and was held captain by a former teammate turned police captain? What? How has there not been a 30 for 30 on this? $30 for 30 on Ray Finkel. That would actually be fantastic. What if I told you?
That just goes to show I have never like thought about the plot to Ace Ventura. I saw that movie when I was 4 or whenever it came out.
Okay, is that the only time you've seen it?
No, I've seen it a bunch of times.
Right.
I've just never I've never thought of the plot. Like I've never.
Oh God, you kind of got me there when you said you saw Ace Ventura when you were 4. I need to talk to Scott Bair now because that's going to be depressing for me for the rest of the day. Joining us right now, the guy who knows more about the Raiders than anybody I know, and that's why we asked and begged him, dare I say, to be our weekly guest each and every Wednesday at 8:05 to not only wrap up the Raiders week, but also look ahead to the following week. The one, the only Scott Bair. Scott, it's Dave and Kyle. How are you?
Pretty good, guys. How are you?
Doing good. I actually just I actually just stymied Kyle because we were talking about 3 quarterbacks in NFL history that had thrown for 4 touchdowns and 400 yards in consecutive games. And obviously one is Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's why we're asking. The other is Fresno State guy, also son of a Sac State coach, Billy Volek. That's the one you'd never see. And then, Scott, let me see if I can get you. The third quarterback is in the Hall of Fame, was kidnapped during a Super Bowl, all right, along with the team's mascot, and held hostage by a former kicker teammate of his turned police captain. Does that ring a bell at all?
Yeah, he should have put the laces out.
Atta baby! There you go! Knew I could rely on Scott Bair. And then Kyle just killed me by saying, yeah, I saw the movie when I was 4.
Oh,
yeah.
What? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now I feel ancient.
Thank you.
But I am curious as I move forward. I have a son, and when am I going to show him that movie? When's he going to be ready for the tutu and the laces out and the whole shebang? That's what fathers have to face these days. When are they going to show him Dumb and Dumber? When are they going to show him Ace Ventura? Because those things are classics.
Ace, the scene of him doing the fake dive keeper over the hedges.
Yes.
Kills me every time. It's so funny.
That's fine to show your kid, but I'm with Scott on this. My kids would love that movie. I'm trying to think of the toughest conversation that I would need to have with my kids involving that movie. And this is a family show, so I won't go into it. But I think, how do I say this? I think the reveal at the end.
Einhorn and Finkel, for sure.
Einhorn and Finkel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a conversation I want to have.
No,
yet.
I don't
That's
either.
for sure.
Maybe I'll have my wife watching with the kids. I'll just go out for something. Hey, Scott, two ways we can approach this interview, and we'll probably end up doing them both because we have a little bit of time. The Oakland Raiders played what is perhaps the best team in football really well for the first half. They then followed it up by playing another what seems to be decent team in elevation really well for the first half. So I don't know how to think here. Do I think, the Raiders just got caught by two very good teams in some elevation, or the Raiders don't know how to scheme at halftime. Other teams are figuring them out. They're really not a good team. Which way are you leaning?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards a couple different things. One, these coaches are coming up with very good game plans early on, and I think that the Raiders' talent level, especially against the teams that they've played so far, isn't quite up to snuff, and eventually their execution wanes a little bit. Now, in that Rams game, I was sort of waiting for the ball to drop the entire time. I thought, they're in. They have a halftime lead. This whole charade is going to crumble to the ground. Last week, I felt the opposite. At no point did I think the Raiders were going to lose that game. As a matter of fact, I went really heavily committed in what I was writing and had to turn in right at the end of the game, and I had to kind of panic and switch some stuff around because things ultimately didn't go the way that I had anticipated, the way that the first 2.5 quarters had suggested. So I think that was surprising. And if you look back at that last game, it wasn't just a series of plays that led to the loss. If they make any one of those, if Bruce Irvin doesn't get called for an unsportsmanlike, if Keith Smith catches that 4th-and-1 pass, if Gary and Conley doesn't take a false step and heads backwards instead of forwards on that last play that put him into field goal range, gosh, maybe we're talking about a wholly different result. So I thought they were good. I thought they were really good in the first half, but ultimately I think the game plans have been great. I think the execution down the stretch has waned, and I think all that 2016 magic where they came through in the fourth quarter and knew how to deal with pressure and all that kind of stuff, I think the roster might have turned over too much for that, for those lessons from back then to still stick. John Gruden might have to teach them again.
2 weeks in a row, John Gruden has said in his post-game press conference that the Raiders need to find a pass rush and find ways to get after the quarterback. Is he aware? Is this a bit at this point, and he's kind of messing with everybody, or is he just kind of ignoring Khalil Mack and trying to move past that?
Yeah, I think he realizes the big elephant in the room, but what's he supposed to say? Is he supposed to say, oh, yeah, 2 weeks ago I totally panicked, I screwed up, I gave away the best defensive player, and I'm an idiot? No, he can't do that. He's thinking about a long-term vision here, and that's why he got all that draft capital, and he didn't want to start his tenure with the Raiders, which could be a full decade in salary cap HE double hockey sticks. He just didn't want to do that, and I think that ultimately that's what it comes down to. And Killian of the Chronicle asked him directly on Monday, do you regret the trade? And what's he supposed to say? He has to say no, but I think he also realizes, and I think I said this on the show last week, is that whatever they get for Khalil Mack, nobody knows what that's going to be until the future. So the 2018 Raiders, of which about 65% of them are on one-year contracts.
Yeah.
They got no return for Khalil Mack. They just got worse. That's all that happened to the 2018 Raiders. They shipped the best defensive player in football, that's my opinion, away, and the 2018 Raiders got diddly squat, man. And that pass rush is suffering tremendously. Bruce Irvin is in a tough spot. He's giving his all. He's trying to lead. He's trying to make up for the loss of number 52, but he has 2 pressures in 2 games. And outside of that strip sack, he hasn't been great because he's seeing a ton of attention now. So I think John Gruden understands. He knows why they don't have a pass rush. He knows why he's going to get that question, 14 more times probably. And he's going to have the same answer. As a matter of fact, in Denver, he was asked that question, and there was like a 5-second pause, because he's not sure what he's supposed to say, right? That ultimately he can't say, well, I traded Khalil Mack, that's why we don't have a pass rush right now. He absolutely can't say that, and I think that anytime that you're expecting rookies to make an instant impact, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because for every Colton Miller, who's been awesome for the last 2 weeks, there's 10 examples of guys that need more seasoning and can become good players and aren't quite there yet. So I think that's what's happening to the Raiders up front right now, but it is a big deal, especially when teams are behind like the Broncos and they got to pass and the whole world knows it. That's when your pass rush has to go. That's when you need a bona fide closer, and 52 is a bona fide closer.
Scott Bair, NBC California, joining us talking Raiders right now. You brought up, obviously, we were talking about Gruden. You brought up Bruce Irvin. So here's a quote from John Gruden. Well, obviously, we need to get more out of our captain. He's put in some tough spots, certainly. He's a good player. He's had some really good snaps. We need more and more from him. I know he's giving us everything he has. It's tough on him, certainly, because we do have a lot of new guys around him up front, but we're happy he's here. I don't know how to read that quote. Is he throwing a shot at Bruce Irvin? Is he trying to piss him off? Or is he just stating facts?
I think all of the above. The one thing about Gruden, right, is that he has a penchant for telling the truth, which among NFL head coaches is a rarity. But I think he said he set the scene exactly what it is that they desperately need Bruce Irvin to be a game changer. But Bruce Irvin, like I said, is dealing with a lot of new variables, and that must be frustrating for him. And how to get to Bruce Irvin in terms of getting him motivated to do more, although I don't think motivation is the issue. It is difficult for him. He's always been the complimentary guy, right? And those guys generally get less attention. And how you deal with more coming from a defensive end spot where he's not Khalil Mack big or Khalil Mack strong. He's just physically not that type of guy. But he can be a tenacious pass rusher. I think there was so much talk in the offseason about an inside pass rush, about lining up somebody next to Khalil Mack or next to Bruce Irvin that can take away double teams or keep guards from cheating out or whatever. Bruce needs that quite a bit, and I think that would help him a great deal. It's also difficult because the assumption over the last 3 or 4 years is you go back and you watch the tape, right, and you see Khalil Mack getting chipped by a tight end and then blowing past a tackle, and then having a running back waiting for him before he gets to the quarterback. You see plays like that when he's playing for the Bears now on national television for 2 consecutive weeks, and he finds a way to fight through that. Most people can't. That doesn't mean that they stink. It just means that they're human. And ultimately, Bruce is having to deal with a lot more of that stuff because I think offenses figure if we can shut Irvin down, we're going to roll the dice with the rest of these rookies up front.
Scott Bair with us. Scott, I tried to make Raider fan feel a little bit better about this game on Tuesday by saying, the Broncos, I think I saw the stat, are 32-3 at home in the first 2 weeks of the NFL season over the last 30 years. 32-3. And at this point of the year, the players are not in the same shape they are in November and December. They're still getting acclimated. Do you think the elevation at all affected the Raiders in the second half?
I think when you combine it with the fact that it was the hottest game in Broncos history, I think it was 92 degrees at kickoff and didn't go down from there. I think that did have an impact on them in the fourth quarter. Of course, they don't want to say that because, they're not excuse makers. That I think is another positive point for this group. Ultimately, though, I'm with you. I think that everybody when they traded Khalil, and I don't want to keep harping on the trade, but when they traded Khalil, there was a paradigm shift and there was an expectation drop through the floor that I think because it happened so close to the regular season, before that, they're thinking, oh, man, Paul Gunther and Khalil Mack, that's going to be a combo. And John Gruden and Derek Carr, that's going to be a combo. And can we utter the, two numbers, 10 followed by a 6? And can the, Raiders really be a playoff team? And then all of a sudden, you lose one of those guys, and the expectation should naturally change. But sometimes your optimism, especially as a fan, doesn't really let you believe that it's going to be different. And the reason why I say all that is because nobody wants to hear about silver linings, right? But I thought the offense looked pretty good. I thought the defense had a lot of positive things happening in the first couple quarters. But what happens to teams with a talent disparity, the teams on the bottom, is that eventually the good team kind of wins out, right? Eventually, all that effort and fight and stuff like that doesn't quite lead to the victory that you want. And I looked at that game and I thought, man, the offense was pretty good. Man, the secondary is a lot better than the last one. And you know what? Against lesser teams, they're going to come out with some victories. That's what I took from that game, even though ultimately they let a lead slip at the end, and that is still, at its base, unacceptable. But I'm with you. I do think there are a lot of positive signs. I think they could use the Cleveland Browns right now, to kind of put some pep in their step. They won't get that when they go to Miami against a 2-0 team. And if you want to look at the Denver weather, go ahead and look at the Miami weather. It's going to be 87 with 75% humidity and a chance of thunderstorms, and they're wearing black. So that's going to be another difficult test for them as they head farther into the regular season.
That was going to be my next, but we're out of time, and this is how great you are off the top of your head. I'm looking at the 10-day forecast right now. It's just what I was going to say to you. High of 88, low of 78, scattered thunderstorms at 1 p.m., and right in that range, 87 degrees. It's going to be... Yeah, exactly. A lot of sweaty Raiders in that game. Scott Bair, NBC California, does such a wonderful job. Follow him on Twitter. Read his work. The best mind in the business, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to your Oakland Raiders. Buddy, we will talk to you next Wednesday.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Scotty. It's Scott Bair of NBC California. We'll take a break. When we get back, we've got some roundup stuff for you. We have a bunch of different sounds we didn't get to yesterday from everybody from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Deshaun Jackson, Tom Brady, and Hugh Jackson. So we'll do a little roundup there as well.
And we're going to give away some Jason Aldean tickets in the next segment.
Jason
Bang,
Sumdean?
bang. No, Aldean.
Aldean.
Yep.
Jason Mostdean?
All of it, Dave.
We're right back. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Spend your Sunday with us here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Second down and goal. Lynch dives into the end zone. Touchdown. Beast mode.
It's another triple header beginning with the Raiders traveling east to face the Dolphins in Miami.
And he's in for the touchdown.
Game 2 has the Seahawks hosting the Cowboys at 1.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
And we wrap up the day with the Lions hosting Tom Brady and the Patriots. The NFL all day long on Sunday here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
We had just gotten home from vacation, and Richie had to go downstairs to grab something out of the dryer, and he had set foot in about 3 to 4 inches of water.
Well, what happened was the pressure relief valve for the hot water heater had failed, and it just leaked water while we were gone.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
With her being pregnant, the in-laws coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world. I called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. They took care of everything, A to Z. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
See how much you could save with USAA by bundling your auto and home insurance. Get a quote today. Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Product membership eligibility and bundling savings restrictions apply and are subject to change. Members paid for their participation. United Services Automobile Association and its affiliate, San Antonio, Texas.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, brought to you by FanDuel. More ways to win. Out into the distance, you'll notice exhausted athletes running after practice penalty laps. They're circling the track that I've named in honor of you, 132-1 Jackson, the patron saint of NFL underachievers. No, you're not imagining things if you think you see good old Eli Manning huffing and puffing, and he's got his whole offense with him. Look how out of sync they are. And those guys with the neck braces, well, that's Eli's O-line. They developed severe whiplash from pass rushes whooshing by them. Right behind the Giants' offense is the Steelers' defense. Did any of them manage to get Patrick Mahomes' license plate number as they were getting trucked? Finally, there's Houston's Deshaun Watson. Last year's wonder is struggling in his comeback. Sunday, with a chance to set up a game-tying field goal, Watson took too much time to throw, something that should have been, well, elementary. I'm Boomer Esiason.
This NFL season, FanDuel has more ways to win than ever before. New Beat the Score contests pay out everyone who hits a certain score, and no more worrying about how other players are doing. Just hit the score and win. Also new for this NFL season, FanDuel's got the biggest ever free NFL Survivor contest. You pick one team every week, you make it through the season for a chance to win $250,000. New players, try FanDuel today and get a $20 bonus when you make your first deposit. Just sign up FanDuel.com/CBS Sports, FanDuel.com/CBS Sports.
Not many things scare me, kid. Vampires, werewolves, children, not one bit. But you know what does scare me? Downtime, inefficiency, scares the living daylights out of me. That's why I use Grainger. They're America's #1 source for industrial supplies. Plus, they've got the inventory management solutions that keep us running. So we've got uptime, we've got efficiency, we've got productivity. When it comes to keeping your facility running, Grainger's got your back. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bob is no idiot.
Now, this mattress is a beauty. Full king, 10 years old, only 2 previous owners, elderly couple, very clean.
I don't think so. He's not going to buy something used when he can get it new for about the same cost. Like at Northern California Honda dealers' new Hondas for All sales event, where you can get incredible savings like a $249 a month lease on a brand new 2018 Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Is that a bed bug? Nah, that's just a crumb. We'll clean that right off. Come on. Yeah, no, I'm good.
With deals like this on new Hondas, why buy used? See your NorCal Honda dealer now through September 30th.
Lease a 2018 Accord Sedan CVT-LX for $249 per month for 36 months with $23.99 due at signing for well-qualified lessees approved by Honda Financial Services. Excludes taxes and license. No security deposit, 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. Higher rates apply for lower credit ratings. Prices and terms may vary. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/31/18.
Ask any Honda driver or visit us at NorCalHondaDealers.com.
Sports 1140 will be at King Kong Brewing Company, 1709 Del Paso Boulevard, this Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Win prizes and enjoy great beers at King Kong Brewing, proud sponsor of Sports Fest.
Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The A's lost last night to the Angels 9-7. They've lost 3 in a row. The Rays won their 4th in a row, so now Tampa Bay trails the A's by just 5.5 games for the second wild card. The A's and Angels are back at it tonight. You can hear that game right here on Sports 1140. Pregame 6:45, first pitch is at 7:05. The Eagles signed Jordan Matthews, wide receiver they traded last year to the Bills. Matthews was cut by the Patriots this preseason. Philadelphia needed a wide receiver after placing Mike Wallace on injured reserve with a broken leg. And the 76ers hired Elton Brand to be their general manager. He was the VP of basketball operations. He played for 17 NBA seasons and retired in 2016. It's 8:30. Tickets are going quickly for Folsom Live, the street party in historic Folsom. Live music and dancing in the streets. Details at folsomlive.com.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
Our thanks to Scott Bair. I don't know what kind of day you guys are having, but it's probably not as bad as Anthony Prince's day. He was watching football in New Jersey on Sunday. FanDuel is a bookmaker out there now. And late in the game, Raider fans, you know what happened. After Case Keenum completed a pass down to the Oakland 18-yard line and put the Broncos in field goal range, FanDuel went to update the live betting odds to reflect Denver as a minus 600 favorite. However, an error in the live odds feed caused the Broncos to be posted as 750 to 1 underdogs. That's plus 75,000 if you're counting. So this guy goes to the counter, put $110 on the Broncos at 750 to 1 odds, and received a ticket that showed a potential payout if the Broncos won of $82,610. At the correct odds of minus 600, he would have won $18.35. As you know, Brandon McManus hit the 36-yard winning field goal with 10 seconds to play. But when he went to the counter, the guy was told the bet would not be paid out at 750 to 1. Instead, FanDuel offered to pay him around $500 and give him tickets to 3 New York Giants games. He declined to take FanDuel's offer, told a TV station out there he plans to hire an attorney. Now, I won't get in or bore you with all the rules and laws and details they list down here as to what state and where does and does not honor this stuff. They're called palpable errors, or PALPs for short. It does happen. In some cases, the bets are paid off. In many cases, and most, I should say, based on this, they are not. So I don't know if I feel bad for the guy because he thought he had won $82,000 and instead was offered $500 and tickets to 3 New York Giants games. Or if I'm actually okay with it because he only bet $110 staring at 750 to 1 odds and the Broncos on the 18-yard line at home with Brandon McManus kicking. I mean, I'm not rich, but I will tell you, if I saw that, I would immediately go to the ATM and withdraw whatever my limit was. He's not getting paid. No chance. Over the weekend, you saw different roughing the passer calls. Mike Pereira spoke on that, especially the one in Minnesota and Green Bay, that game. We'll get to that in our What's on Tap segment. Right now, though, want to get to Nostradumbass. We haven't done that this week. We'll do our predictions on Friday. This is from last week. Obviously, a little bit different because I was gone Monday, and we just flat out did not have the time. So, Kyle, we start. Actually, you know what? I don't think I need the music because I think music's in there. Our first game, and this is where Kyle and I on Friday predicted how the games would go in advance, only to replay and see how stupid or smart we sounded. So I believe I went first, Kyle, and I believe our first matchup was the 49er Lions game. Is that correct? Okay, here's what I said on Friday, what I thought would happen Sunday with the Niners and Lions. First game, Niners. They are, and we're doing this, I said it, I swear to God, with the spread in mind. The Niners favored by 6. And it's on tape somewhere. Lions, fantastic game. You can hear it? If you're a 49er fan, I couldn't. Jimmy Garoppolo on their very first drive takes them down the field, throws a touchdown. That's right, throws a touchdown. Alf Morris comes back. He bounces back a little bit. He's got a touchdown on the ground. Give me 2 Garoppolo touchdowns. Give me 2 rushing touchdowns. Throw in 2 extra points. We'll make it 34-17 49ers.
Wow.
Yeah, 34-17. I'm writing that down. Take it to the bank. Okay. 2 Garoppolo touchdowns. That's obviously the good. Jimmy Garoppolo, in fact, threw 2 touchdowns. Nailed that. I also said 2 rushing touchdowns. They got 1. My final score was 34-17. I had them winning by 17 points. They won by 3 points. So I got 1, Kyle, but I kind of screwed the other 2. Not a great performance.
Not awesome.
You also predicted this game.
I did.
How did that sound?
I think the 49ers are going to have issues with the right side of their offensive line, and they're going to struggle early on, especially the running game, Matt Breida and Alfred Morris, because the 49ers are going to have to run left because they're not going to be able to trust the right side of that offensive line. I think it takes them a while to adjust. I think they're down 13-3 at the half.
Wow.
But then I think they make an adjustment because Kyle Shanahan is the best offensive schemer in the game.
Like Marcus Peters, great at adjusting.
We see Jimmy Garoppolo come back with 2 second-half touchdowns, one to George Kittle, one to Dante Pettis. And the 49ers sneak out a win. We'll go 24-20.
Wow. So you would take the Lions.
Yeah,
that's 6
cover.
points.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. You had them down 13-3 at the half. They were up 13-10 at the half.
Yep.
You called touchdowns to Kittle and Pettis. The touchdowns were to Selleck and Kendrick Bourne.
There's also, at the end, I accidentally clipped it off and didn't want to go grab it. I also said I was missing a touchdown. Give me Garrett Selleck. And then I said no. Give me Pierre Garçon. Just brutal by me.
Pierre Garçon had 4 catches for 57 yards to lead the team. I think the big win here, though, is that you had the Niners winning, but winning by what, 4?
Yeah, 24-20.
24-20. They won 30-27. So, in fact, you get the big win over me in that aspect. I said 34-17.
I at least had the Lions covered.
You had the Lions covering. Correct. All right. Raiders and Broncos. Mile High Stadium at Denver, Bronco, whatever the hell. Here's my prediction. Raiders and Broncos in Denver. I just said that, Dave. Broncos Stadium at Mile High Field, or whatever the heck it's called.
Jeez, Dave.
Golly. In this game, the Raiders are underdogs by 6 points. I think we threw out a stat earlier in the game, or early in the show. In fact, I know we did. In the last 30 years, the Broncos are 32-3 heads up, straight up at home. Not against the spread, just 32-3 at home. They don't lose in the first 2 weeks of the season. By the way, that's the first 2 weeks of the season. 32-3 in the last 30 years. Unfortunately, for Raider fan, that's not going to change this weekend. I do believe Derek Carr is going to go downfield. I do believe Amari Cooper is going to have more than 5 catches. I do believe Martavis Bryant will have 2 to 3 catches. I do not believe Jared Cook will have 180 yards. That's going out on a limb.
Good point.
But I do think Derek Carr is going to be sacked at least 3 times. I'm going to go with the Broncos in this one. I'm going to say 28-14. Broncos are going to double them up. And I think this time next week, or in fact, I'll say Monday, we're going to be talking about, does Oakland have an offense at all? My God. Because I think they're going to be sucking wind and having issues towards the end of the game, especially Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is going to hate it there. Okay. Listen, I started out really well. Nailed Amari Cooper. Hey, now. Nailed Martavis Bryant. Derek Carr went downfield. Not as much as we want, but he did. Called the second half sucking wind. At least in my opinion, that's what happened. But I had the Broncos in this one big. No. The Raiders were up most of this game. The Raiders probably should have won the game, and Denver won by, obviously, the slimmest of margins. I'll give myself a solid C there. I got the winner right. That's about as far as it went. Kyle Madson, Denver, and Oakland.
I think that we're going to see the Raiders try and establish their run game, go deeper off more play actions, use that to kind of soften up the middle of the field. We'll still see plenty of short passes. I think that's just going to be kind of how the Raiders' offense is this year. But I think those deep shots, John Gruden alluded to it yesterday, there were deep shots that Carr did not take that I think they're going to encourage him. Hey, let it rip. Go get Martavis Bryant deep. Go get Amari Cooper deep. And I think they're going to connect on those, and it's going to help open up their offense a little bit. That being said, I don't think it'll be enough. I think the Broncos are going to be able to score on the Raiders. and I think we see the Broncos come out with a 27-21 win.
27-21. Okay. All right, so once again, I'm doing really well at the in-game stuff, and you're doing really well at the actual scores. Now, the Broncos won by 1. You had them winning by more, but you didn't have them winning by as much as I did.
Yeah.
Raiders outscored them 12-0 in the first half, and were outscored 20-7 in the second, and that one touchdown came in the third. I'm going to maintain my position that the Raiders were sucking wind in the second half, and that's what got to them, and that's a big reason why they lost. Final game, I honestly don't remember. I know
you had Vikings-Packers.
Oh, God. Oh, this is going to be, you know what? Now
tough look for you
This
here.
is going to be really bad. Vikings-Packers, my prediction on Friday. My wild card game. I had it picked, but I don't know. I'm just, all right, screw it. I'm going Vikings-Packers. Vikings-Packers, that's a 10 a.m. game. Minnesota travels to Lambeau Field. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play part of the game. I think the Vikings defense will knock Aaron Rodgers out of this game. I think it's going to be all downhill. I think Lambeau Field fans are going to be very, very sad at this game. And I think 49er fans are actually going to come away with a Lions victory combined with what happens with Minnesota and Green Bay. And come Monday, they're going to be feeling a lot better about their season, part because they won and part because they saw what Minnesota did to Green Bay at Lambeau Field. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Minnesota is, along with the Rams and Eagles, the class of the NFC. I think they're going to go in there during a rivalry game. I think you're going to see 3 touchdowns from Kirk Cousins. Stephon Diggs is going to get in there. Adam Thielen's going to get in there. And Kyle Rudolph is going to get in there. Add another run from Dalvin Cook. I'm going to go 31-10.
Wow.
Blowout at Lambeau Field, Vikings over Green Bay, in part because Aaron Rodgers gets knocked out.
Oy.
Well, Stephon Diggs got in. Adam Thielen got in. Kirk Cousins threw for 4 touchdowns.
What's going to make you feel better is my wild card pick.
Well, let's be honest. Minnesota got a great win. Because really, a tie at Lambeau Field's a huge win, right?
Yeah,
all right,
big time.
Right.
It's just like a 31-10 win. I did worse than you did.
How is that possible?
I have I'm looking at this Panthers Falcons game.
Falcons.
In Atlanta, the Panthers getting 5.5 points.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle. Thank you for that. I forgot to mention the Packers are favored by 1 as of right now.
Are they really?
That's
I
really
saw them
surprising to me. I see. I'm looking right now.
Okay, but either way, pick them or -1. You're taking
back to you.
So I've got the Panthers plus 5.5. Atlanta just put Deion Jones, their stud inside linebacker, on IR. He's done for the year. That is going to allow Christian McCaffrey to cook. In the middle of that defense. I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey. Going to channel my inner Dave Richard here, and if you have Christian McCaffrey, start him this week. You're probably starting him every week anyways, but just in case,
14 catches.
I think he's really going to eat this week, and I think we see the Panthers get a big NFC South win.
Wow.
Yeah, and after seeing the way it did last week, I'm not super confident in them. I like the Panthers to cover the 5.5 points. And give me Carolina 27, Falcons 20.
So you're saying Falcons not only lose at home, but they're losing. They're going to 0-2.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you were only 3 points off the Carolina score. You said 27. They had 24. And it really looked good, too, when Atlanta, I forget the guy, Atlanta had that guy ejected for that hit on Cam Newton. And they were really thin at that spot. But Atlanta somehow figured it out, although Carolina came back and made it close. 14 points in that fourth quarter was not enough. That final drive wasn't enough. Kyle, for the first round of Nostradumbass, I'm going to say we nailed the Raider game. We nailed the Niner game as far as winner. We lost the other 2, our wild card games.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you that our local coverage is the best in the world.
Yeah,
and maybe we don't have a lot of time to spend on the other teams. From the 916, if one of you predicts a tie this season, I will eat Fire Wings every day of the month for February.
Oh, new bit. That's a fun game to play. We will look each week and see if we can pick which game might end in a tie.
I'm 100% okay with this. What's on Tap is next, right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sports 1140 KHTK has made your mornings even better. Check out The Drive every morning on KHTK.com to not only hear this show, but to see this show as well. The Drive is now video streaming every morning from 6 to 9 on KHTK.com. All presented by the Sacramento Republic FC and by Jiffy Lube.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at Fire Wings.
Get him a full read today.
Huh? Yeah, you think so? Well, it was a good lead-in from the text guy. Although, did you notice he said, I'll eat Fire Wings every day for the month of February?
I already do that. So,
all right. Why are we picking the shortest month of the year?
Pick the hottest wing and eat that every day.
There you go. There you go. And then we'll do commercials brought to you by Charmin. Because, hey, let me tell you, whether it's that mango habanero, Peking, breaded Malaysian curry. Kyle's in my favorite wing. Kyle loves the dragon wings, too. That was his first. His first love was dragon wings. And
you never forget your first.
You never do forget your first. Bottom line is this. You know, we talk about the wings and how great they are. We talk about the garlic ramen and how great it is. All the things. Even the seasoned fries are tremendous. And the garlic fries are real garlic fries with actual pieces of garlic.
And they don't skimp on the garlic.
No. I will say this. Maybe the only negative thing I'll ever say about Fire Wings, probably not. You probably don't want to get the garlic fries if you're planning a little bit of a necking session afterwards. That's what we used to say when we were kids, necking. Not kissing, necking. That's what they called it. Yeah, I know. It sounds weird. Bottom line, you want to go watch some football this weekend? No better place to do it than Fire Wings. 21 different flavors to choose from. FireWings.com. Hey, just wing it.
Sacramento Republic FC is back in action at Papa Murphy's Park Saturday, September 29th as they play host to the Portland Timbers 2. Don't miss all the excitement on the pitch as the boys in Old Red Glory battle their conference rival for supremacy. Game time, 7:30 p.m. Single tickets are on sale now. Call 916-307-6100 or go to sacrepublicfc.com for more info. That's 916-307-6100 or sacrepublicfc.com. Don't miss out on all the fun at Papa Murphy's Park. Get your tickets now.
Big things are happening at Stockton Honda with the introduction of the all-new redesigned 2019 Honda Insight Hybrid. This premium compact sedan provides appealing style and fuel efficiency that rivals other leading hybrid models. You gotta check out this premium compact sedan, the 2019 Honda Insight Hybrid. You won't be disappointed. Come in today and meet our friendly staff or go to StocktonHonda.com. Stockton Honda, anytime, anywhere.
This ain't the first time it's happened, is it? Yeah, that's how it is with backed up drains. A DIY fix might clear things up for a little bit, but you'll keep getting backed up at the most inconvenient times until you fix it right. So call the home service heroes at Bonnie. For most clogs, Bonnie can fix your drain for just $97. They'll use professional grade equipment to cable out your clogged drain till it's flowing free and clear. Boom, problem gone. No more half measures and no more worries. Not every problem can be fixed by cabling, but Bonnie has the cameras, tools, and expertise to diagnose and fix bigger problems correctly. Plus, their stand-up techs will shoot you straight, show you the video, and provide guaranteed quotes. But honestly, 80% of the time, it's a $97 fix, if you're smart enough to call Bonnie. Details at Bonnie.com. License 696355. BONNEY. Bonnie.com.
Everything old is new again. William Land Golf Course at Land Park, Sacramento's oldest public course, is now managed by Morton Golf, and that's good news for you. William Land is the perfect spot for a quick round, whether you're a beginner or an accomplished player. Whether you're looking for golf with friends, golf lessons, foot golf, kids play free program, or just a nice place to putt, William Land Golf Course at Land Park has it all. Play 9 and finish your day with a legendary garlic butter burger. Learn more at WilliamLandGC.com.
Men, are you looking for an affordable option to treat erectile dysfunction that won't break the bank? Melrose Pharmacy has the answer. It's called Sildenafil, the same active ingredient in Viagra. Melrose Pharmacy is offering a huge cost savings on this generic 20-milligram tablet. Get 50 tablets for just $100. That's $2 a pill. A prescription from your doctor is required, and we offer free discreet mailing. Call Melrose Pharmacy, 1-844-826-7829, or visit melrosepharmacy.com and cash in on the savings today.
Paul Blanco doesn't care about your crummy credit past, only your good credit future.
Use Kia's giant factory rebates to get approved for a new Paul Blanco Kia to improve your future. Let the banks compete to get you approved at paulblancokia.com.
It's the end of the show, but it's the start of your workday. For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
All right, the A's look to bounce back tonight at the Coliseum. They take on the Angels. Brett Anderson versus Felix Pena. Good news for them. The Mariners and Astros are playing. Good or bad news, I guess. Here's it. What was that? Was that me talking to me?
Yeah, dude. This is the drive with Carmichael Dave and Carmichael Dave.
Apparently. Wow, I can't get enough of me. Mariners, Astros 5:10. That's in Houston. Giants on the road taking on San Diego. Chris Stratton. Giants, Padres. That is at 6:10. That's really about it. What do we cover today? There are no Kings in the top 100 of ESPN's rankings of the top 100 players they believe will contribute the most to next season. Thought that was a little goofy because Luka Doncic and Lonzo Ball were in the top 65. You know, ESPN has a 20-hour basketball epic called Basketball: A Love Story. It's already available on the ESPN apps and coming soon to ESPN. 20 hours. And yeah, I'll probably watch 19 of them. The Rams are the new favorites to win the Super Bowl. According to Westgate Superbook, they replaced the Patriots. For the first time this year, the Patriots obviously falling after losing to Jacksonville. Rams, Patriots, Jaguars. Patriots 6-1, Jags 8-1. Followed by the Vikings at 10-1. Eagles all the way down to 16-1. That's interesting. If you're wondering where our local teams are, the 49ers are at 60-1, the 23rd most likely team to win it. And at 27, your Oakland Raiders are at 100-1. I find that interesting because the Oakland Raiders, according to the sports book, and yes, we know how odds work. It's still a little weird. The Oakland Raiders have the exact same odds of winning the Super Bowl as the Cleveland Browns.
They're trying to get action on both sides, Dave. They're not predicting who's going to make the Super Bowl.
Well,
I love takes like this. That's what somebody said because I tweeted that the Vikings and Packers game was a pick'em, and then they tied. And then I said Vegas is incredible. And the guy's like, this guy responds, I love misguided takes like this. Vegas isn't trying to predict a winner. They're trying to get action on both sides.
Yeah, that's well actually, guy.
Muted that guy. Couldn't have muted him fast enough.
Let me ask you something. That wing that you like so much.
Mm-hmm. The dragon?
No, it's the
Thai chili?
The mango
habanero?
No, all right. Somebody's on me because I say habanero. They get mad because it's habanero.
I don't think it's an enye.
Yeah, it doesn't have the. Is that really what it's called? An enye?
I think it's
the
thing. That a tilde?
Tilde? Tilda Swinton?
Yeah. I think that's right. That's Spanish one. I forgot.
That's
all
the
that.
type of stuff I get. Dave, you're not pronouncing habanero. Now it's habanero for the rest of my life.
Yeah, now you went and did it.
Now it's always habanero. I just said it 3 times. What do you want?
And when they get a jalapeno wing?
Jalapeno wing. Thank you.
You have to say that.
When my kids, for their birthday next month, they're going to be breaking a pinata. That's right. You know what I mean when I say habanero. You know exactly what I mean. It's not like you're going, oh, is he talking about the pepper?
Wow.
Or is it something else? Is there something else that's a habanero? Perhaps it's a type of ice cream.
A habanero is actually a spicy form of European currency.
Like a habanero?
Yeah.
I totally went into that. Yeah. With arms wide open. Kyler Murray was the A's first-round draft pick.
Love Kyler Murray. Hey, Boomer Sooner, huh? Love my Sooners.
You know,
Adrian Peterson.
Don't know if you know this, but Oklahoma's Baker Mayfield won the Heisman last year.
Brian Bosworth.
Baker Mayfield won the Heisman, and in his first 2 games,
Baker Mayfield, D.D. Westbrook,
UTEP, Ohio State, and Tulane victories.
Samaje Perine.
Baker Mayfield had 1,033 total yards and 10 touchdowns. Kyler Murray, that's some big shoes to fill, right?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, again, Baker Mayfield, 1,033 total yards and 10 touchdowns. Kyler Murray, through his first 3 games, 1,032 yards.
DeMarco Murray.
And 10 touchdowns.
Sam Bradford.
That means Kyler Murray is failing to live up to expectations, obviously with stats much lower.
Dude. He should just come play center field for the A's now.
Same amount of touchdowns, 1 less yard through 3 games, and Baker Mayfield won the Heisman last year. How crazy would it be if Kyler Murray won the Heisman Trophy and then joined the A's organization?
It'd be wonderful.
Do you know this, by the way, the $4.6 million contract he signed? Is he being paid right now for that?
I don't believe so.
Okay, because if he was...
I think he gets it once I don't think he can by NCAA rules.
That's what... Because, dude, can you imagine if you were getting paid and the quarterback and a freshman at Oklahoma? Like, that would be the greatest life ever.
Hey, caller number 5 right now, you get Jason Aldean tickets. Win tickets to the Jason Aldean concert happening September 25th at the Toyota Amphitheater. Get your tickets and more info at KHTK.com. All KHTK giveaways powered by RosevilleAutomall.com.
For Scott Bair, for Eunice, our executive video producer, for Kyle Madson, I am Carmichael Dave. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. bright and early. Jim Rome is next. Enjoy the rest of your broadcast day right here on Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye-bye now.
Every Friday night,